I love everything about my wife. That's not something most men say lightly. I mean everything, the way she tucks her hair behind her ear when she's nervous, the way she sings off-key to 2000s pop songs like she's headlining Madison Square Garden, the way she squeezes my hand twice when she wants to say, I love you, without actually saying it. Her name is Lily. And if you had asked me a year ago what the worst thing that could ever happen to me was, I would have said losing her. Funny how life doesn't take things away the way you expect. Sometimes it lets you keep them. And that's worse. We live just outside of Denver, Colorado, quiet suburb, white fences, kids riding bikes at sunset, the kind of neighborhood where people wave even if they don't really know you. I met Lily 8 years ago at a 4th of July barbecue. She was wearing this yellow sundress, barefoot in the grass, laughing like she didn't have a single worry in the world. I remember thinking, that's the kind of woman you build a life with. And I did. We bought our house 3 years after we got married, painted the nursery even before we were sure we'd need one, talked about baby names on long drives through the mountains, built routines, built comfort, built what I thought was forever. We weren't perfect, but we were solid. At least, I thought we were. The night everything changed started like any other Tuesday. We had just left dinner at a small Italian place downtown. Lily insisted on driving because I'd had a glass of wine. She always liked being in control of the wheel anyway, said it made her feel grounded. The air was cold, early fall, windows slightly cracked, the smell of pine drifting in from the mountains. She was texting. Now, before you jump to conclusions, Lily texted everyone, her sister, her mom, her book club group chat. She was the kind of person who responded fast because she hated leaving people hanging. So when her phone buzzed and she picked it up at a red light, I didn't think twice. But then it buzzed again. And again. And again. Her posture changed. It was subtle. If I hadn't known her like I know my own heartbeat, I might have missed it. Her shoulders tightened. Her jaw locked slightly. Her breathing shifted shallow. Everything okay? I asked casually. She didn't look at me. Yeah, just Sarah, she said. Sarah, her best friend from college. I nodded. The light turned green. She kept typing. Then I saw it. Not because I was snooping, not because I didn't trust her, but because when we hit a bump, her phone tilted slightly toward me. Just enough. A name flashed at the top of the screen. Ryan. My stomach tightened. I don't know why it hit me the way it did. Ryan isn't exactly a rare name. It could have been anyone. Coworker, old friend, random contact. But I knew one Ryan. Ryan Carter. Her ex. The one she dated for 5 years before me. The one she once described as the love that almost ruined her. I hadn't heard his name in years. Who's Ryan? I asked carefully. She froze. It was less than a second, but it was enough. She recovered quickly, too quickly. Oh, just someone from work, new project manager. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. And Lily has never been good at fake smiling. Silence filled the car. The kind that hums. I stared out the window at the passing streetlights, trying to convince myself I was overreacting. But then her phone buzzed again. And this time, she turned it face down. Lily never turns her phone face down. I felt something cold crawl up my spine. Why are you turning your phone over? I asked. She laughed too loud. You're being weird. I'm just asking. It's nothing, you're making it something. That's when the air changed. If you've ever been in a relationship long enough, you know the shift, the invisible crack forming beneath your feet. I could feel it. Let me see it, I said. The word surprised even me. Her hands tightened on the steering wheel. Excuse me. If it's nothing, let me see. She finally looked at me. And what I saw wasn't anger. It wasn't annoyance. It was fear. We pulled into our driveway. She turned off the engine but didn't move. The porch light flickered against the windshield. I can't believe you don't trust me, she whispered. That word. Trust. Weaponized. I'm not saying I don't trust you, I replied. I'm saying you're acting different. I'm texting a coworker. Then show me. Her eyes filled. Tears. Perfectly timed. You think I would cheat on you. And that's the thing. When someone flips the script like that, you start doubting yourself. I immediately felt guilty. I didn't say that. But that's what you're implying. She opened her door and stepped out before I could respond. I sat there alone in the passenger seat, heart racing, mind spinning. Why did she look scared? Why lie about a name? Why turn the phone over? Why cry instead of just showing me? Inside the house, she went straight upstairs. Bathroom door locked. Shower running. Classic move. I stood in the kitchen staring at nothing, trying to piece together the woman I knew with the woman I just saw in that car. Maybe I was insecure. Maybe it really was work. Maybe I was about to ruin a perfectly good marriage over paranoia. Then her phone buzzed. She left it on the kitchen counter. Face up. I stared at it. I shouldn't have looked. But I did. And what I saw didn't just crack my world. It shattered it. A message preview from Ryan. I miss you too. Tonight felt like old times. My hands started shaking. Tonight. She was with me tonight. My chest felt tight, like someone had physically grabbed my heart. The phone buzzed again. Another message. Are you sure he doesn't suspect anything? The sound of the shower upstairs kept running. Water drowning out everything. I picked up her phone. My thumb hovered over the screen. I knew that once I unlocked it, there was no going back. No unseeing. No pretending. I entered her birthday. It opened. And in that moment, standing in my own kitchen in a quiet Colorado suburb, I realized the love of my life wasn't who I thought she was. And whatever I was about to read was going to change everything. My hands were shaking so badly, I almost dropped the phone. I wish I had. I wish I had been the kind of man who respected privacy over instinct. The kind of husband who said, no, I trust her. I don't need to look. But trust doesn't feel noble when it's being mocked behind your back. I opened the thread. And the first thing I saw was a picture. Not explicit, not inappropriate. Just Lily. Sitting across from someone at a restaurant table. Soft lighting, wine glasses between them, that same black dress she wore tonight. The one she said she wore for me. Her smile in the photo wasn't the smile she gives strangers. It wasn't the polite one. It was the one I fell in love with. Under the photo she had texted, I forgot how easy it feels with you. The timestamp was from an hour before we left dinner. My vision blurred. I scrolled. Weeks. This had been going on for weeks. Messages at 10:47 p.m. 1:13 a.m. 6:02 a.m. Conversations that didn't belong to a married woman. Inside jokes. Old memories. What if things had been different? Sometimes I think we ended too soon. I still dream about you. My stomach twisted. There was a message from him 3 days ago. Ryan, does he make you happy? And her response, Lily, he's safe, you were fire. Safe. I felt like someone had punched straight through my chest. Safe. 8 years together, a house, plans, loyalty. And I was safe. The shower upstairs shut off. I quickly locked the phone and set it back exactly where it was. My reflection in the kitchen window didn't look like me anymore. I felt hollow. Cold. Like something inside me had just died quietly and no one else heard it. She came downstairs in sweatpants and one of my old college hoodies, hair wet, face fresh and calm. Too calm. You okay? She asked softly, walking toward me. I looked at her. Really looked at her. How do you look at someone you built your life around and suddenly see a stranger? Yeah, I said. My voice didn't sound right. She tilted her head. You're quiet. I'm just tired. That was the first lie I told her that night. She stepped closer and wrapped her arms around my waist. The same arms that had typed I miss you too. I didn't hug her back. And she noticed. "Why are you pulling away?" she whispered. "Because I just read that you wish you were with another man. Because you called me safe. Because you asked him if I suspect anything. But I didn't say any of that. Instead, I asked something simple. When did you start talking to Ryan again?" Her entire body stiffened. "Just for a second." "I told you," she said carefully, "it's a coworker." "Don't." She blinked. "Don't lie to me again." The silence between us thickened. "You went through my phone?" she asked, her voice rising. There it was. Not guilt. Not apology. Defense. "You lied," I said quietly. "You looked me in the eye and lied. You invaded my privacy. You're having an emotional affair." Her face drained of color. "It's not like that." "Then what is it?" "It's just talking. Talking about how you miss him, talking about how you dream about him, talking about how I'm safe and he's fire." Tears spilled instantly. "You weren't supposed to see that." That sentence. Not "I'm sorry." Not "I messed up." You weren't supposed to see that. "So you admit it," I said. She sat down at the kitchen table like her legs gave out. "It's complicated." "It's not complicated," I snapped. "You're married. You don't understand." "Then explain it to me." She covered her face with her hands. "When he reached out, I didn't expect it to affect me like this." "How long?" She hesitated. 2 months. 2 months. While we were planning a weekend trip to Aspen. While we were repainting the guest room. While she was kissing me goodnight. 2 months of secrets. "Have you seen him?" I asked. Silence. My heart pounded. "Have you seen him?" I repeated louder. "Yes." The word barely came out. "How many times?" "A few." "A few," I laughed bitterly. "Define a few." "4. 4 times." My knees felt weak. "Did you sleep with him?" She looked at me. And that pause told me everything. "Did you?" I demanded. Her voice broke. "Yes." The world went silent. No dramatic crash. No shouting neighbors. No thunder outside. Just the sound of my own breathing. Heavy, uneven. I stepped back like she had physically struck me. "In our bed." "No," she cried. "No, never here." As if that made it better. "Where?" "Hotels." Plural. Hotels. My wife in hotel rooms, with her ex. While I was at work. While I was thinking we were happy. "Why?" I asked, and it came out as barely a whisper. She looked destroyed now, mascara running, shoulders shaking. "He makes me feel alive," she said. "Alive? So I make you feel dead." "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" She slammed her hand on the table. "I don't know, okay? I don't know why I did it. When I'm with him, it's intense. It's chaotic. It's like who I used to be before everything got stable." Stable. Safe. Predictable. I felt anger rising in a way I had never experienced before. "You mean before you grew up?" "That's not fair." "No," I said coldly. "What's not fair is that I gave you loyalty and you gave me secrets." She stood up suddenly. "I still love you." Those words almost made me laugh. "You don't betray someone you love." "Yes, you do," she cried. "Sometimes you do and you hate yourself for it." The room felt too small. I walked toward the front door. "Where are you going?" she panicked. "I need air." "Please don't leave." I turned to face her. For the first time in 8 years, I didn't recognize the woman in front of me. "I would have died for you," I said quietly, "and you risked us for nostalgia." She collapsed into a chair, sobbing. But something inside me had already shifted. Something dark. Because in that moment, it wasn't just heartbreak I felt. It was humiliation. And humiliation doesn't just break you. It changes you. As I stepped out into the cold Colorado night, I realized something terrifying. I still loved her. But I no longer trusted her. And once trust dies, love becomes something dangerous. The cold Colorado air hit my face like a slap. I didn't put on a jacket, I didn't grab my keys, I just walked. Past the trimmed hedges. Past the mailbox with both our names engraved in neat silver letters, Daniel and Lily Harper. I used to love seeing that. Now it felt like a joke. The neighborhood was quiet. Porch lights glowing, TVs flickering behind curtains. Somewhere down the street, a dog barked once and then went silent. Normal. Everything looked normal. And that was the sick part. Inside one of those identical houses, a man had just found out his wife was sleeping with her ex, and the world didn't even flinch. I stopped at the end of the block and bent forward, hands on my knees, trying to breathe through the pressure in my chest. 4 times. Hotels. He makes me feel alive. The words replayed like a loop I couldn't shut off. I wasn't just hurt. I was replaced. And I didn't even know it. I didn't go back inside for an hour. When I did, the lights were still on. She was sitting on the couch, knees pulled to her chest, staring at nothing. She looked small. Fragile. But I wasn't falling for that version of her tonight. "We need to talk," I said flatly. She nodded immediately, like a child waiting for punishment. "I ended it," she blurted out. "I swear, tonight was supposed to be the last time." I stared at her. "Tonight," I repeated slowly. She swallowed. "I told him we couldn't keep doing this. So you planned one final romantic dinner to close it out." "It wasn't romantic. He texted you that he misses you, and tonight felt like old times." Her eyes squeezed shut. "I can't undo it." "No," I said, "you can't." Silence stretched between us again. "Does he know about me?" I asked. "Yes." "And he was fine sleeping with a married woman." "He said he never stopped loving me." I let out a hollow laugh. "Of course he did." "And I told him I was confused," she added quickly. "I told him I loved you." "But you slept with him anyway." Her shoulders shook. I felt stuck, Daniel. That word hit differently. "Stuck?" I asked, stepping closer. "In what world are you stuck? We have a house, we have plans. We were trying for a baby 6 months ago." She flinched. "That's part of it." My heart thudded. "What does that mean?" She looked at me like she was about to confess something worse. I got scared. Of what? Of becoming this version of myself forever. I felt like I was listening to someone describe a prison sentence instead of a marriage. "So you cheated because you were afraid of growing up." "It's not that simple." "Then make it simple." She stood up, pacing now. "With him, I don't have responsibilities. I don't have expectations. It's just emotion, it's just heat. With you, everything is real, bills, plans, future, pressure." I stared at her. "So I'm your reality, and he's your escape." She didn't answer. Because she didn't need to. I walked into the bedroom. Ours. The bed suddenly looked unfamiliar. I imagined her lying in some hotel room, in sheets that weren't ours, whispering things she used to whisper to me. My chest tightened again. She followed me. "Please don't shut me out," she said softly. "Were you thinking about him when you were with me?" I asked without turning around. "No. Ever." Silence. That silence told me more than words. I turned slowly. "Did you ever compare us?" Her lip trembled. "I didn't mean to." The honesty was brutal. "You destroyed me," I said quietly. She covered her mouth, sobbing. "I never wanted to hurt you." "But you did." "I thought I could control it." "You thought you could have both." She didn't deny it. And that was the moment something inside me hardened. Not heartbreak. Not sadness. Clarity. "You don't get to cry like you're the victim," I said, my voice colder than I intended. "You made choices, over and over again. I hate myself for it." "Good." She looked at me like I'd slapped her. "You should," I continued, "because I didn't deserve this." "No, you didn't," she whispered. "And that's the worst part," I said. "You didn't cheat because I failed. You cheated because you wanted to." Her sobs filled the room. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the wall. "Do you love him?" I asked finally. The longest pause yet. "I don't know." That was it. That was the knife. Because if she had said yes, at least it would have been honest. If she had said no, maybe there was something to salvage. But I don't know. That meant I was competing with a ghost from her past. And ghosts don't fight fair. We didn't sleep in the same bed that night. She stayed upstairs. I took the couch. I stared at the ceiling until sunrise, replaying every moment of the past 2 months. Every late work meeting. Every time she seemed distracted. Every time she smiled at her phone. It had all been happening right in front of me. I just didn't see it. Or maybe I didn't want to. By morning, something had shifted inside me again. The heartbreak was still there. But beneath it, anger. Not explosive anger. Strategic anger. Because humiliation lingers. And I couldn't shake the image of Ryan texting her. Are you sure he doesn't suspect anything? Like I was some clueless idiot. Like I was the obstacle. I picked up my phone. And I searched his name. Ryan Carter. LinkedIn profile popped up instantly. Project consultant, based in Denver. Same stupid confident smile in his profile picture. I stared at it for a long time. Then I noticed something. He worked for a firm that partnered closely with my company. Very closely. And suddenly, the situation wasn't just emotional anymore. It was layered. Complicated. Connected. I set my phone down slowly. Upstairs, I could hear Lily moving around. Probably crying. Probably regretting everything. But regret doesn't erase betrayal. It just makes the betrayer feel better. I stood up, walked to the mirror in the hallway, and looked at myself. Red eyes, exhausted face, but something else too. Resolve. Because here's what I realized as the sun rose over our quiet suburban street. She risked our marriage for fire. For chaos. For nostalgia. And now she was going to understand what it feels like when the person you underestimated stops playing safe. I still loved her. That was the tragedy. But love doesn't mean weakness. And if Ryan thought I didn't suspect anything, if Lily thought I would just forgive and forget, they were both about to learn something. I wasn't safe anymore. I was done being safe. I didn't go to work that morning. I called in and told them I wasn't feeling well. That part wasn't a lie. There's a specific kind of sickness that comes from betrayal. It's not physical, but your body reacts like it is. Head pounding, stomach tight, vision unfocused. Upstairs, I heard Lily moving slower than usual. Drawers opening, closet doors sliding shut. Normal sounds in a house that wasn't normal anymore. When she came downstairs, her eyes were swollen. She looked like she hadn't slept at all. Neither had I. Are you going to work? She asked quietly. No. She nodded. Silence again. We used to fill silence with jokes, with random thoughts, with plans for the weekend. Now it felt like a courtroom. I blocked him, she said suddenly, holding up her phone like evidence. Last night, after you left. I looked at the screen from a distance. His contact was gone. Conversation deleted. Deleting doesn't erase it, I said flatly. I know. Do you? She flinched. I'm trying. That word again. Trying. You try to diet. You try to wake up earlier. You don't try to stay loyal. You either are or you are. I need the full truth, I said. You have it. No, I have pieces. I need all of it. She swallowed. What do you want to know? Who reached out first? She hesitated. He did. And you answered. Yes. Why? Her voice cracked. Because when I saw his name, my heart jumped. Honesty. Brutal honesty. And mine does, I asked. It does, she whispered, but it's different. Different. I leaned back against the counter. How many times did you plan to tell me? She didn't respond. Were you ever going to? She shook her head slowly. That hurt more than the affair itself. You can survive a mistake. But a planned secret, that's intention. I thought I could end it before you ever knew, she said through tears. so I'd just keep living in a lie. I was going to choose you. I laughed quietly. You already did choose, 4 times. She covered her face again. I was running out of sadness. Anger was taking over. Around noon, I did something I never thought I would do. I texted him. I got his number from the call log she forgot to delete. My hands were steady this time. Me, this is Daniel, Lily's husband. 3 dots appeared almost instantly. Ryan, I figured you'd find out eventually. The arrogance. I felt my jaw tight. Me, eventually. Ryan, she was never fully yours. That sentence lit something inside me. I stepped outside so Lily couldn't hear. Me, you're sleeping with a married woman. Ryan, she doesn't feel married when she's with me. My vision blurred with rage. Me, you think this is a game. Ryan, no, I think she's settled. There it was. The narrative they both built. Safe. Settled. Predictable. I took a deep breath before responding. Me, you work with our firm. You understand what that means, right? There was a pause this time. Longer. Ryan, you wouldn't. Wouldn't I? I stared at the mountains in the distance, snow still clinging to their peaks. I wasn't the type of man who destroyed careers. But I also wasn't the type of man who got publicly humiliated and smiled about it. I typed slowly. Me, stay away from my wife. Ryan, that's her decision, not yours. And that was when I understood something clearly. This wasn't just about Lily being confused. This was about ego. His ego. And now, mine. When I walked back inside, Lily looked terrified. Did you talk to him? She asked. Yes. Her face went pale. What did he say? That you settled. Her body crumpled slightly. I never said that. You didn't have to, you called me safe. I didn't mean it like that. Then how did you mean it? She had no answer. I stepped closer. Did you ever tell him you were leaving me? Her eyes widened. No, never. But you made him believe he had a chance. Silence. That was answer enough. I felt something cold and calculated settle inside me. You need to call him, I said. What? On speaker. Why? Because this ends today. She hesitated. If you want even a chance of saving this, I continued, you call him and you end it. Clearly, no emotion, no nostalgia. Her hands shook as she dialed. He answered on the second ring. Hey. That casual tone. Lily swallowed. Ryan, it's over. A pause. Because he found out. Yes. So that's it. Yes. Another pause. Do you love him? She looked at me. This was the moment. Yes, she said. It sounded forced. But she said it. Silence on the other end. You'll regret it, he said calmly. You always do. She hung up. Her breathing was heavy. I stood there watching her. Watching the woman who shattered me. You need therapy, I said finally. She nodded. We both do. And for the first time since this started. She didn't argue. That night, we sat at opposite ends of the couch. The TV was on, but neither of us was watching. I'll do anything, she whispered. Anything. I used to think that phrase meant devotion. Now it just sounded desperate. Trust doesn't rebuild overnight, I said. I know. And I'm not promising anything. Her lip trembled. I'll wait. Wait. She wanted patience now. After rushing into someone else's arms. I leaned forward, elbows on my knees. You need to understand something, I said quietly. You didn't just cheat. You changed how I see you. She cried softly. And I don't know if that version of you is someone I can love the same way again. That truth sat heavy between us. Outside, the neighborhood was quiet again. Peaceful. Like nothing had happened. But inside this house, everything had shifted. Because forgiveness is possible. But forgetting, never. And somewhere deep down, I wasn't sure if I wanted revenge or closure. And the fact that I couldn't tell the difference anymore scared me more than the betrayal itself. I didn't touch her that night. Not when she reached for my hand. Not when she curled up on her side of the bed, leaving space between us like a silent apology. For the first time in 8 years, I felt alone next to my wife. And that loneliness was louder than any fight. The next few weeks were mechanical. Therapy appointments, tense dinners, long silences, short answers. We told no one. Not her parents. Not my brother. Not our friends in the neighborhood, who still waved like we were the picture of suburban perfection. On the outside, we were intact. Inside, we were balancing on cracked glass. She did everything right. Blocked him everywhere. Shared her location. Left her phone face up. Answered every question, even the ugly ones. Did you enjoy it? Yes. Did you miss him after? Yes. Did you think about leaving me? I thought about it, I didn't plan it. Every truth was another scar. And yet I stayed. Not because I forgave her. Not because I forgot. But because love is complicated. And I wasn't ready to burn down 8 years without knowing I tried. Therapy forced words out of us Dee never said before. She admitted she had always romanticized her past. That Ryan represented who she used to be, reckless, spontaneous, untethered. You were the man I built a life with, she said one night after a session. He was the man I never finished the story with. And you needed to check if the story was better, I replied. She didn't deny it. That hurt in a different way. Because it meant I wasn't crazy. I wasn't paranoid. I was plan B to memory. 3 months passed. And slowly, something unexpected happened. She stopped crying. Stopped begging. Stopped performing guilt. Instead, she started showing up differently. She listened. She initiated hard conversations. She admitted uncomfortable truths without waiting to be asked. One night we were sitting on the back porch, Colorado air crisp around us, and she said something that stuck. I didn't cheat because you weren't enough, she said. I cheated because I was afraid of who I was becoming. I stared at the dark outline of the mountains. And who were you becoming? Someone stable, someone predictable, someone safe. The word didn't sting the same this time. And that scared you. Yes. Why? She took a long breath. Because chaos feels like passion when you don't know the difference. That was the first time her explanation didn't sound defensive. It sounded self-aware. Broken but aware. Ryan tried to reach her once more. New number. Short message. Miss you. She didn't reply. She showed me immediately. Blocked it. No drama. No tears. No shaking hands. Just a quiet, decisive action. And that moment mattered more than any apology. But here's the truth no one talks about in these stories. Even when the cheating stops. Even when the apologies are real. Even when therapy helps. You still remember. I remembered every time her phone buzzed. Every time she looked distracted. Every time she laughed too quickly. Trust doesn't snap back into place. It rebuilds brick by brick. And sometimes, you're not sure if the foundation is strong enough to hold it again. 6 months after the night in the car, we took a drive. Same road. Same Italian restaurant downtown. Her idea. I need to face it, she said. We sat at the same table. Ordered the same wine. But this time, her phone stayed in her purse. Untouched. Halfway through dinner, she reached across the table. I know I don't deserve another chance, she said. But I want to spend the rest of my life earning it. There was no manipulation in her voice. No tears. No performance. Just quiet determination. And I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't plotting revenge. I wasn't checking her phone obsessively. I was cautious. But I was present. Do you still think you settled? I asked calmly. She shook her head immediately. No. How do you know? Because fire burns out, she said softly. And you're home. Home. Not safe. Not predictable. Home. That word hit differently. On the drive back, her phone buzzed. We both looked at it. She didn't reach for it. Instead, she looked at me. Want me to check it? It was such a small question. But it meant everything. I shook my head. No. And for the first time in months. I meant it. Here's the part people expect. The revenge. The dramatic divorce. The public exposure. The career destruction. But life isn't always cinematic in that way. Sometimes the real power move is choosing not to become the villain in your own pain. I could have ruined Ryan professionally. The opportunity was there. I could have filed for divorce and walked away with my pride intact. Maybe that would have been easier. But easy isn't always right. And despite everything, I still loved her. Not blindly. Not naively. But intentionally. It's been a year now. We're still in the same house. Still in the same neighborhood. But we're not the same people. She doesn't romanticize chaos anymore. And I don't confuse stability with weakness. We rebuilt differently. Stronger in some ways. Scarred in others. Sometimes, I still think about that night in the car. About the way she turned her phone face down. About the message that shattered my world. And yeah, part of me will always carry that bruise. But here's what I learned. Being safe doesn't mean being replaceable. Being steady doesn't mean being boring. And loving someone deeply doesn't make you weak. It makes you brave. Because staying after betrayal, that requires more strength than walking away. I love everything about my wife. But now, I love her with my eyes open. And if she ever mistakes stability for something she needs to escape again, she won't find the same man waiting. Because I'm not safe anymore. I'm self-aware. And that's fire that doesn't burn out.